The job center is fully AI, bro. What do I mean by this? Addison, what you want about this time? What I mean is basically the journal, predominantly the journal. When you send a message to Universal Credits about anything, especially if it's in regards to making a more appropriate time to reschedule an appointment in case you can't make it if you're working a part-time job or you've got a family thing to sort out, or you got a doctor's appointment, or you've got a job interview, ironically, or any myriad of justifiable reasons. If you explain yourself, then generally speaking, if you do get a response at all, it won't be from a human. It'll usually say agent. What agent, bro? Agent Smith. I know for a fact that these agents in question are not real people. If they had a real person replying, they would have their name, which they do when they do give a name from X job center in X location. But from experience, I've not actually been that nice to them. Generally speaking, as time has gone on, I found myself a bit more cynical to these people. I've learned a bit more of what universal credit actually is, why they want everyone on there specifically, why you have to sign on for universal credits to receive any kind of help from them in the first place. I've dug into situations where people have been sanctioned unfairly and all this sort of thing. And I've also, like I've said before, it took me 7 months to find some kind of work. And that was by myself anyway, in the end. Whereas when I was completely without their help, it just took me a month and a half. But that's a separate point. Basically, I find myself constantly having a go at them in the most sarcastic way possible. Like, my main example is when I need to change my appointment. I basically said to them, listen, listen, I know, you want my tax money, but you also don't actually want to help me find a job. I don't really understand this. They put me on a course for a CSCS card when they knew full well that I already had one. Now, fair enough, they're swapping me around between a billion different work coaches each week, which is a bit weird anyway, but it is what it is. They were doing this even when I was nice to them, for the record. But, like, it just pisses me off, bro. Like, I've I've never had to put in so much effort to basically just be a slave, which is what a labouring job is, let's be honest. I have my CSCS card. I've had it since June. I've been telling you time and time again, can you help me find anything? Like, because I'm clearly struggling a little bit by myself. I can sort things by myself. It's just you have to know people through people. The official application route, as we all know, it technically works, but it doesn't work for anybody when you really boil it down. You have to be lucky enough to know someone who knows someone, and even when you apply yourself in person or through a phone call, they'll usually just tell you to go online anyway. It's a piss take. It's a complete fucking. It's not even a maze, bro. It's just some sick little charade of time wasting. But anyway, I basically tell them, look, I can't make this appointment because I'm working. You would know that if you actually saved your progress every time we had an appointment. Addison, can you please work more hours at this job you got yourself, because we do nothing other than type on the computer and forget to press the save button. So having that kind of attitude, that should make it harder for me to stay on with them in any shape or form. But no, they changed my appointment immediately. So I feel like there is just a computer that you will immediately talk to. I know there's been talks of that if you look hard enough on YouTube, but again, YouTube alone isn't credible enough. So take it with a pinch of salt. But I do believe it is fully AI. And when you go into the job center and you speak to anyone in person, I don't care what anyone says, they're AI as well. They have no feelings, they have no soul. They might have like a personality and a life and this and that. There might be some good in them. However, I do believe in order to stay on for more than 2 months, in this career, you have to sold your soul to the devil a little bit, just like in any other form of powerful influence. I do believe, in a sense, these people have sold their soul to the devil. And that's why, generally speaking, I keep getting swapped around because I find that most people that you see, they don't stay there long. And the ones that do stay there, they're a bit robotic, they're a bit soulless. They'll talk to you very nice and friendly. They may even want to change the system, a bit like Alan McClement did. Although, like, I do believe. Could you make up your point in less than an hour, Alan? I don't. I know you say they need to be that long, but they don't need to be that long. Let's be honest. Yeah, they're basically robots, bro, and it's full of double standards. Because if you miss an appointment, or if you arrive a little bit late, they'll never let that slide. They'll never let that go unless you basically just give them attitude back. Ironically, but they can be late as fuck for your own appointment. They can not call you at all. You could make the effort to travel there just to be told, "Oh, there's no appointment now." It's a joke. It is a piss take, and it's a complete power were not fantasy, a complete power grab of gargantuan proportions, bro. And every person I try to describe this to, they either don't understand because they've been fully employed for long enough, or they do understand and they kind of don't see the fact that these people really just don't care about us. They're kind of like, oh, these people, like, they're doing their best. It's just, it's a rough market out there, or I'm the problem, or something like this and that. That's not necessarily the case, bro. I feel like, again, we've already seen how our government is more than happy to impose a form of ID that we did not consent to, regardless of a vote, if we turn a blind eye long enough. And given that these people, they're not the same, but they're still part of the same structure, we should be wary of that as well. Because the theory that gov.login is the original digital ID is starting to hold a lot of weight now. And I may be on their system myself through an act of desperation, and I may be broke. I may not have a place of my own to stay in London, but let me tell you this, I've done it before, I can do it again, and trust me, if I have to stay broke and basically this close to living on the street, if it weren't for my family, God bless them, then it's better than slaving away in this shit system where you work 15 hours a day in an office. You get good wages, but you don't get to appreciate or enjoy it. And you and I both know it doesn't have to be this way. It's got nothing to do with the immigrants. It's got nothing to do with even inflation. I think it's a bit deeper than that. I think they're doing this deliberately on purpose. They're trying to boil the water to see how I don't know, lobsters react. They're gradually turning it up so we don't notice. It's just one liberty at a time until eventually all of our freedoms have been eroded away and we don't even know who we are anymore. And how do we resist it? We resist it bit by giving a little bit of attitude back. Not aggressively, but bluntly. And it all starts with your universal credit journal. And if that doesn't work, I don't know what will. I'm happy to take the fall for you. Do not worry. God bless.